In this video, Danz is going to talk about Batman Arkham City. How about Danz?
Hey guys, what is going on? Danz News here, and welcome to BatDanz Week. I'm here today to talk about a game that's very near and dear to my heart, that I haven't even played. Seriously. It's Arkham City, Batman Arkham City. Did I really have to say that? You guys are dumb. So let's get down to it. Batman Arkham City. A lot about this game has been released. Rocksteady, I think, has been pretty good. They're kind of following the same path as they did with the Batman Arkham Asylum, in the sense that they've been announcing characters in trailer form leading up to the release of the game, and I think that's really smart, because, you know, as a big fan of Batman, it's really cool to see, like, they don't officially announce who's going to be in the game until, well, I mean, they do, but they have these big reveal trailers for characters. Like, I had no idea Mr. Freeze was going to be in there until they did the Freeze trailer. So stuff like that is just really cool as far as marketing is concerned. But as far as, oh, I was checking if I had the list still open on my desktop. As far as the officially released or announced characters that they are going to be having as villains or, you know, such, is Two-Face. This is in no particular order. It's just as it comes out of my head. Two-Face, Mr. Freeze, Catwoman. Also going to be a playable character, Catwoman. What do I say? Two-Face, Mr. Freeze, Catwoman, Calendar Man, Talia al Ghul, the Penguin, Victor Zsasz, Solomon Grundy. Solomon Grundy was actually not on the list in which I was looking at, so not the most up-to-date list. Now I gotta check.
Oh, good God.
Glad. Glad is a word?
Alright, the list has been consulted. The Riddler, Talia al Ghul, I already said that. The Joker, the Riddler, and Dr. Hugo Strange. That should be very interesting, because obviously in the very first trailer released, it was revealed that Hugo Strange knows who Bruce Wayne is. And he's Batman, as we know. So yeah, that should be pretty interesting. I actually watched that trailer more recently, the first trailer they released, because Jordan had been linking me to Blur trailers that had been done by the company Blur, and they did the trailer for Arkham City. That trailer is so amazing. They do incredibly realistic looking trailers, but yeah, it's a really exciting trailer. I mean, Batman kicks some ass in that, but it brings up something in the game that isn't necessarily mentioned, that I haven't seen mentioned too many other places. You're going to be fighting guards of Arkham City. Ugh. It was a weird burp, but obviously Hugo Strange is, from what I've read, I think is the head physician or whatever. He works in Arkham. He isn't like a patient or anything. He works there. And he had the guards in the trailer go after Batman, and he's kind of interrogating one of the guards who had, you know, fought Batman. And so, yeah, I haven't really seen much more of that. So if that trailer is any indication, you're going to be fighting some guards from inside the city, as well as, you know, doing that stuff. But I might be, wait, I'm pretty sure in the other trailers they also have, they make it clear that Batman is going into the city, I think, against, you know, order, almost, because obviously Arkham City is sanctioned. Warden 82,462,8 chins is now the mayor. Somebody just come online. Is the mayor of Gotham City now, and that's, you saw in the secret room part of my playthrough. If you didn't, link in the description. The warden had plans to section off parts of the city, which is what he does in Arkham City, and makes it into part of the asylum.
So that's what the game's about. It's just part of the city's been turned into, like a crazy inmates run the asylum kind of thing. Sections of the city where they have different sections of the city and stuff. This is a terrible explanation. Seriously, look up a synopsis. But I just want to get to me talking about my, opinions and stuff and excitements for the game. So yeah, there's on the microphone. There we go. So yeah, from the gameplay that's primarily been released at this point, there has been like a 13-minute clip that showed some Catwoman gameplay off, and then it switches to the Batman gameplay. And from the get-go, they show the Batman stuff flying around. I can't wait to try out this mechanic. From what I've heard, the mechanic's kind of wonky at first, the flying mechanic, diving and then going up. Theoretically, you could fly for like ever if you got good enough at it. But it's meant to glide around the city and to get a lot farther than you could in Arkham City, because the thing was, when in Arkham Asylum, whenever you jumped off, ledge or anything, you just went, even if you pulled up, you were at a steady incline down, or decline down, and you couldn't fly upward unless you used your grapple hook. So it's going to be really interesting to be able to fly up, fly down, gain altitude and all that stuff, and also grapple while you're flying, because that's something that you couldn't do in the other game. You had to be on the ground or on another structure, sitting on like a gargoyle or something to grapple to something else. So there's a lot of interesting mechanics that will be explored in this game, and that kind of seems really cool. They had some hidden Riddler trophy stuff in that gameplay stuff as well, where you had to break through like a wall or something like that to get to it. So that's really interesting as well. I'm excited that there's much more emphasis on the Riddler trophy hunt, as it were, in this. There are going to be Riddler challenges in this game that are kind of like Saw-like traps that you have to solve to, save people or whatever. And I believe, from what I've read, once you solve all these, which there are going to be a lot more than there was in Arkham Asylum, you actually get to come to fisticuffs with the Riddler. And yes, I just said fisticuffs. Don't worry. I'm really old in my brain. But as far as, content in the game, supposedly it's like a 15-plus hour game. I've heard from some places that it's like a 20-plus hour game. The idea of Arkham City campaign and side missions and all that adding up to 20-plus hours of content. Props to Rocksteady for building that kind of encompassing game. I will say that the gameplay looks a bit more like combat and stuff, looks a bit more brutal. It's kind of demonstrated a little bit in the Blur trailer for Arkham City that Batman kicks a guy in the nuts at one point in that trailer. And it definitely shows in that gameplay demo that they showed. But yeah, also interested for the Catwoman sequences. The beginning, as I said before, the beginning of that demo showed off you playing as Catwoman. Her combat's a lot quicker. She also uses the whip and stuff like that. I'm kind of interested to explore the city as Catwoman. Exploring the city as Batman's could be really cool, but it'll be interesting, going from flying around as Batman to, more parkour style, like Assassin's Creed kind of stuff with Catwoman, because I wouldn't imagine she's flying around the city. I could imagine jumping from one rooftop to another or using the whip to latch onto something, but she doesn't necessarily have the longer range, movement that Batman obviously has. So that will be interesting and is interesting to think about. Interesting. I'm going to say, how many times have I said interesting? I want an interesting count in the description. How many times I said interesting or exciting? Because I'm sure I've said those a lot. I'm not going to count them. You guys should, because I'm lazy. Also, as far as I know, it's still a Best Buy exclusive at the moment, that Robin comes with like the pre-order of the Best Buy thing. So I'm sure he'll come. The DLC will be released later, but you'll have to pay something for it, which I think is kind of dumb. There's a lot of different skins apparently for Batman in Arkham City. Max and Eads have a website, manatank.com, and I remember when it was first announced that he was going to have different skins and stuff like that for Arkham City. That's where I saw it, the article about it. And from what I can remember in the picture, there was like Batman Beyond skin and kind of more of a Batman the Animated Series skin and stuff like that. I don't know if those are actual skins from the game. Maybe they were. I was planning on doing a bit more research for this video, honestly, but I didn't because I kind of don't want to be spoiled so much about what's going into it. But I did want to give my reactions and talk a little bit about this stuff because you guys seem to be very interested in what I thought about Arkham City for whatever reason. Some of you guys, when I announced BatDanz, were like, nerd, which is cool. I overdid it a little bit with the Batman stuff in the first video. I had the Batman shirt and the Batman poster. Right now I have Batman. You couldn't hear me when I did that. Batman. So yeah, and then Coheed shirt funnily enough, I'm wearing my Coheed shirt right now, and I seem to wear that for most of my updates. But Coheed and Cambria are included on the game soundtrack for Arkham City. When I heard that like yesterday, I was like, what? I don't know if they're doing an original song or it's just one of their songs being put on the soundtrack. It'd be awesome if it was an original song, because I know that Claudio Sanchez is a big comic book guy and a big Batman guy. So that's pretty damn awesome. So hopefully it's a new song. I probably should have looked that up. Hooray, not preparing a whole lot.